Today is May 13, 2019. This video is about Lake Oroville, the Lake Oroville Dam, and tools that you can use to check its status in real time. First, let's look at where Oroville is. On the map of California, the northern part of California is currently showing. This is the border with Oregon up here, and this is San Francisco down here. To the right of it is Nevada and Reno and Lake Tahoe. Oroville is located right here, and it's home to the Lake Oroville Dam. It holds back approximately 25 square miles of water in the reservoir. It is currently at an elevation of 889 feet. When it reaches 901 feet, which is about 12 feet from now, it will overflow the emergency spillway. You need to be aware of this if you live downstream from the Oroville Dam, or if you have loved ones in California who live downstream from the Oroville Dam. Let's go to my spreadsheet where I put together a bunch of links to help us understand some of these tools. The first thing to recognize is the spreadsheet is listing the month of May 1 through May 27 as far as we can see it. The information in the blue shows actual values for the height of the dam. The light blue shows projections that I've made that are based upon a choosable number of days for a trend line. The actual change in elevation of the lake per day is shown in the dark green color here, and projections for that change are shown over here in this flesh tone. The days of the week are shown to help orient, to make sure that you get this right in comparison to the calendar. But the information that's important to us for this analysis is the information that's in red here. These values that are in red, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and so forth, are showing days that it's going to rain this week and next week, or at least it's projected to rain these days this week and next week in Oroville and in the region just to the watershed or north and east region of Oroville, where it would pick up water, and that water would end up eventually in Lake Oroville. So let's start with these links down here. The first one is to the OrovilleLakesOnline.com. Let's take a look at that. In this Lake Oroville water level, lakesonline.com, it's currently showing a water level of approximately 889 feet. In order to compare this to something that's important to us, if you recall from 2017, Lake Oroville overflowed its emergency spillway, and this is shown right here on, looks like about February of 2017. The current water level is shown in the blue here, and it's not unreasonable for it to be this high, but given the circumstance that the rains are scheduled later this week and next week, it becomes critically important to us. So right now it's very close to coming up to the 901 foot level, which is the top of the emergency spillway, at which point water starts to spill over from Lake Oroville down into the Feather River below. So if you're interested in looking at that, use the first link. The second link back here is a dynamic query on Lake Oroville that updates hourly rather than just daily. So let's go take a look at that. Here's the Oroville Dam daily update, and let me move the screen a little bit to make it easier to see. It shows hourly data, and you can see that in real time it's currently showing information on May 13, and the latest value that was shown for the height of the water is 888.98 feet. It updates on an hourly basis, and each time the hour changes, it takes a little while for the data to settle in, so these numbers should fill in a little bit from now. In any case, if you need the information on an hourly basis instead of a daily basis, this is the place to go. The third link goes to the 10-day weather forecast, and this is where I got the white text inside of the red backgrounds here for in terms of when it's scheduled to rain, or when it's predicted that it's going to rain, when it's forecast that it's going to rain. So in that situation, let's take a look at the forecast for the Oroville, California 10-day weather forecast. You can see that on May 15 it's scheduled to rain, then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, scrolling down a little bit, Tuesday, Wednesday, and not Thursday, at least with this weather forecast, and then Friday. This is changeable, and so the information on this screen changes on a daily, sometimes hourly basis, depending upon how the weather forecasting software is predicting the flows of water through the atmosphere. In any case, you can come here and put that up on your screen and figure out how much it's going to rain, or at least the probability of when it's going to rain in California, in the Oroville region. It doesn't tell us at this point how much rain is going to fall, but it does give us a probability for the rain falling on those days, and that's listed in this column. So 70% chance and 90% chance, a 40% chance, and so forth. The next link is from Tropical Tidbits. In this case, what it is a graphical generator that shows us when rain is falling in a given area. So we're interested in the Oroville region, and so if you'll take a look here, I've got that Nevada right here, California right over here, and then Lake Oroville is right about here. I'm waving my cursor at it. I'll hold my cursor right on it. Looks like 39.59 degrees north, 121.54 degrees west. It's approximately its location. You'd have to adjust maybe a little bit in order to get the exact coordinates of the dam and the location of the water behind the dam. In any case, we're interested in pointing at that particular place on the map. So if I run this animation now, it'll run forward for a few hours, and it'll show me in green in this situation where it's going to rain. And it shows in yellow if it's raining harder, or blue if it's snowing. So you can see that there's some coming through here, but it depends on when it is. And once it reaches the end of its loop, it just goes around again. You can tell by looking here on the map what day of the week it is. It's May 29, and then it's May 13, May 14, and so forth, and it goes in 6-hour increments. If you want to stop it, you can click the pause button up over here, and you can move forward through it and backward through it as you see fit by clicking the arrows that point to the left and the right. The minus and the plus here do not change the size of the presentation. They merely change how fast it cycles through, and it's on a fairly slow loop at this point, which is probably a good place to start for keeping track of when and where the rain is falling. This, however, is not satisfying in and of itself. Although it shows where the rain is scheduled to fall, it's only giving us the probability of rainfall, but it's not showing us how much rain is falling. For that, we go to another map, which is also from Tropical Tidbits, but this one shows us the accumulation. In our particular case, the accumulation will be over the course of several days. So this is 6 hours in the future, 12 hours in the future, 18 hours in the future, and so forth. And that's mapped by the number that shows up over here on the upper right-hand corner of the screen. Again, if I run this, it shows me now not when it's raining, but how much rain has fallen in a given area. And the color of that is depicted by the graph on the right side of the screen. So low rainfalls are green, some rain is blue, 3 inches to 4 inches is a purplish color, a reddish color is 6 and 7 inches, 12 to 14, 16 inches is very heavy rainfall, or very heavy accumulation anyway. So what we're looking for here is, because this is just the starting of accumulating, we would expect it to start with green, and then certain areas to turn blue, and certain areas to turn purple, and then red, and then a yellow color as they accumulate more and more rain. So the Oroville is, remember, right about here. Keep your eyes on that as we run this animation. Here we go. There's the first rain to hit it. And it's turning a pinkish color. That's already in the 3-inch range. Then it's turning a darker color. That's in the 6-inch range. Now it's starting to turn yellow. That's in the 12 to 16-inch range. And when it reaches the end of its animation here, it's out at May 29. These are projected rainfalls based upon computer models that are put up by this Tropical Tidbits. So they can change from time to time too. But right now this animation is being run from May 13 to May 29. And as you did with the previous animation, you can also use the arrows on the left or the right to go through one day at a time. So I've chosen to maybe click it halfway through and ask myself how much rain would have fallen by, I don't know, May 20 at 0000 hours, basically the beginning of May 20. And it looks like it's a darkish purplish color, would be about 5 inches. So I suppose to be conservative, you might say something like, oh, maybe 4 to 5 inches or 3 to 5 inches might fall between now and then. And today is May 13, and that day is May 20, and then you can go forward with it to see how much more would fall. Now, you might ask, well, how am I supposed to convert inches to lake elevation? Well, historically, when the lake is about half full, each inch of rain that falls raises the level of the lake about 12 feet. And because the level of the lake is close to the top right now, it's got a larger surface area. So an inch of rain will probably not raise it 12 feet, but it might raise it somewhere in the 8 to 10 foot range. So if you're looking at maybe having only 12 feet to go before it runs over the top of the emergency spillway, then probably an inch and a half would be all the more that's necessary for it to run over the top of that spillway. And if you're dealing with 2 to 3 inches, then you're definitely going over the top of it with significant amounts of water flows over that emergency spillway. So let's go back now and see if I've missed anything. No, I don't think I have. Okay, that's all I have for you. Be aware of the tools that are available to you. I'll put those links in the description box below. You can also just pull them directly off the screen if you want to. Just stop the screen and take a look at it. And if you have any relatives or friends or family, or you care about the people who are below the Oroville Dam, in the wash area below the Oroville Dam, I strongly urge you to call them and make them aware of this video so that they have these tools available to themselves as well. If they are in that region, they should not wait to the last minute to get out. Once the water starts to breach the dam, it's probably too late to get away. Evacuation routes will probably be clogged, and you will not have as much of a chance of getting away as you would if you were to take care and to take the precautions now. Until we meet again, blessings to you and your loved ones.